No, that's it. It's good. Yeah.
Okay, Madam Secretary, prepared to keep the minutes for this evening? Thank you very much. Please note the time. We are gaveling in 7:07 p.m. I want to welcome everyone to this meeting of Brooklyn Community Board 9. This is our general board meeting for May 2025. My name is Fred Baptiste. I currently serve as the chair of Brooklyn Community Board 9. At this time, I would like to take an opportunity to introduce you to our executive officers.
My name is Linda Watson-Lord, and I'm the Executive Secretary of CBN.
I'm Ethan Norville, the first vice chair.
My name is Felice Robertson, the second vice chair.
I'm Mina Lagute, the treasurer.
Benny Rosenberger, member at large.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is our first, next to last meeting for this year, but this is the first meeting for a number of our new members as well. If I could ask, are there any new members of the board who are currently here? Love it. If I could just take a moment, just to give an opportunity for you to introduce yourselves very briefly to the board. If I could just ask you to stand up, just give your name.
Hi, good night. My name is Abigail Seven.
Welcome.
Good evening, my name is Joyce Williams.
Is that all? You can sit back down, sir.
Hi, everyone. Mr. Love.
Sit down.
Sorry to disappoint you.
He's an old new member. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to start off in that spirit, in that vein. I want to thank everyone, all the new members who are here, all those members who've been reappointed as well. I thank you for making this commitment to Brooklyn Community Board 9. Today, we're probably going to walk through things. I know that this is a little bit of baptism by fire today, in terms of the first time you're coming to a board meeting. So we're going to talk through it a little bit in terms of the agenda, very high level. Our meetings are split, our general meetings are split into a public session, which we are going to have right now. In the public session, we're going to have public commentary. We are going to also have acknowledgments of our elected officials, and we will also have presentations by various parties. On occasion, they may be various entities who wish to tell us about a program or a particular department, or more often what you'll see is you'll have applicants for applications who are looking to do business or conduct some kind of service in the district. They will come and introduce themselves to the board. And at that time, we'll have an opportunity, they'll introduce themselves, and maybe we might have a brief couple of questions that come from the public as well. The public commentary section is very important because this is really where we have an opportunity to hear from the community as a full board. Although we definitely want to make sure that we refer people to the committees because that is truly the engine of where that happens. Just so that the way the new members, if you haven't been assigned to a committee yet, you're okay. We want you to just take next month, just kind of visit committees, just to kind of ask questions, just to get a feel and a sense of what it is. During the summer, you will have an opportunity to declare what committees you may be interested in working on, and at that time, we'll do that. All right, so I just wanted to do that, and I may interject a couple of times as we go through, again, just so I want to make sure that we have an understanding of what the flow of the meeting is going to be. And if there's questions or anything like that, we'll try and take those as well. Although we do have a very tight timeline this evening, so we want to make sure we adhere as closely as we can. All right, so that concludes item 1. Actually, no, that is not the conclusion of item 1. So the next thing I'm going to do is read the rules of order for community board meetings. So this meeting of the New York City Community Board 9 is called on May 27th at Middle School 61 and 400 Empire Boulevard, on or under the applicable statutes of New York State, the New York City Charter, the bylaws of Brooklyn Community Board 9, and Robert's Rules of Order. All community board meetings shall be conducted pursuant to the New York State Public Officers Law. the New York City Charter and the Open Meetings Law and any other applicable laws. The community board's bylaws shall govern meetings where they do not conflict with applicable laws. Robert's Rules of Order shall govern meetings where they do not conflict with applicable laws and the bylaws. All community board members shall be provided a reasonable opportunity to address the community board on any matter of the board or any matter that pertains to the board's mission. During general board meetings, members of the public may be allowed to speak during the portion of the meeting designated as the public comment section. Subject to any modification guidelines established by the chair of the community board or his or her designee, each public speaker shall sign in and provide a brief description of what he or she will comment on prior to speaking. Public speakers will be allotted a time limit of 3 minutes each, commencing from the beginning of the speaker's remarks. Time cannot be shared or allotted to other speakers. If the chair or his or her designee determines that there is not sufficient time at the meeting, the public comment session period may be deferred to either the end of the general board meeting or the beginning of the next general board meeting. Public comment period shall be 30 minutes in duration. During the general board meetings and committee meetings, and outside of public comment session portions of the meetings, members of the public may ask questions and comment upon agenda items only when recognized by the chair, the committee chair, or their designee. All board members and members of the public shall conduct themselves in a courteous, professional, and orderly manner. Obscene, threatening, or harassing language, slander, threats of violence, personal attacks of any kind, or offensive comments that target or disparage any ethnic, racial, age, or religious group, gender, sexual orientation, or disability status are prohibited at all board meetings. No members of the public shall display signs or placards in a disruptive manner, disruptively applaud participants in debate, or engage in disorderly conversation or other disorderly behavior which may disrupt the proceedings of the meeting. Audio and video recording of board meetings are permitted unless they interfere with the meetings, in accordance with the Open Meetings Law. The recording must be conducted from a fixed location in a manner which does not interfere with the meeting. The chair or his or her designee shall have the discretion to prohibit video or audio recording that interferes with the meeting. Recording is not permitted during executive session. Any board member or member of the public who uses obscene, threatening, or harassing language, slander, threats of violence, personal attacks of any kind, or offensive comments that target or disparage any ethnic, racial, age, or religious group, gender, sexual orientation, or disability status, or who otherwise becomes disorderly while at a board meeting shall be removed from the board meeting at the discretion of the chair or his or her designee. No member of the board or member of the public shall be permitted to speak on a cellular phone during a community board meeting while the meeting is in progress, other than for emergency reasons. All cellular telephones are required to be turned off or on vibrate. Lastly, during general board meetings, the enforcement of this code of conduct shall be conducted under the direction of the chair or his or her designee. During committee meetings, the enforcement of this code of conduct shall be conducted by the committee chair or his or her designee. The New York City Police Department and Building Security may assist with the ejection of any individual from a board meeting or committee meeting for violating this code of conduct. I thank you for your patience as I read that. All we're asking for is respect. That is all we are asking for. We understand that not everyone is going to agree on every matter, and we understand that we are passionate about some of the materials that we discussed here at the board. But the one thing we want to make sure is that everyone is respected, and this is a place where people can say what they need to say, and understand that they will be given that opportunity, and they'll be able to speak their mind and give their voice. Understood? Thank you very much. Okay, so at this time, we are now going to move on in the agenda to applications to the New York State Liquor Authority. First, do we have a representative from Blue Nook doing business as Blue Nook BK? Call again for a second time. Do we have a representative from Blue Nook? Okay, now here we're going to move on in the agenda. Okay, next, do we have representatives from Edie Joe's? Thank you very much. Will you please come to the front? We're going to give you the microphone in a second. So Edie Joe's, this application is for 626-630 Flatbush Avenue between Fenimore and Hawthorne Streets. This application is a renewal of a liquor, wine, beer, and cider license. Okay, thank you very much for coming. And if you would, briefly, if you could keep it to about 3 minutes or so, if you could tell us a little bit about your establishment, the application you have this evening.
Hi, my name is Ben. I work for Edie Joe's. We've been in the neighborhood 5.5 years now. We are a bar restaurant. We operate 6 days a week, Tuesday through Sunday. We are open Tuesday through Friday for lunch as well as dinner, and then late night menu till midnight, and the bar's open till 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday we're open till 2 a.m. We're here to renew our license. We've been here, it is 5.5 years, yeah, so 6 in July.
One moment.
If you could hold on for a second, just because we try to get the microphones because of the YouTube audience. Hold on.
Okay, try it out.
Yes, that's better. We, as well as doing lunch, dinner, and brunch, we've also become kind of a meeting place. We do lots of different events, such as, we've done art shows, we've done a couple of plays, karaoke, trying to think of things. If you guys have heard of 7/7, which is a thing that takes place on the 7th, 17th, and 27th of every month, where it's spoken word or singing. It's kind of anything you'd like to do. It's 7 performers, each get 7 minutes each. We've been a big supporter of that. It's just a really fun night. We've done some political things. I have a list of many things, sure. I'm sorry. We've done events for the Co-op School, which is over at Bed-Stuy, for Maple Street School, which is directly above us. We've done fundraisers for them and a couple other things. Basically, when I started the place, one of my goals was not just to be a bar and a restaurant, but also be a gathering place for the community. And I feel like we've become that. The other thing we're applying for here is the change of operation, which will allow us to legally do the things like karaoke, have a small jazz band, which we've done before. But legally on the liquor license, that needs to be stated, or a DJ, because we've done anniversary parties, weddings, engagement parties, things like that. We just want to do it all above board so we can continue our business for 5.5, 10.5, many more years. I think that's good.
I think just to further clarify that the method of operation change that we're seeking is just based on music, right? So our liquor license as it stands right now says that we could have background recorded music only, which would prohibit things like karaoke or live performers of any kind. So we're not looking at changing being a restaurant. As you kind of already know us, nothing about our daily ops are going to change. We just want the flexibility under the guise of the liquor law and through the SLA to be able to have some live performances as well.
Thank you very much. So, do we have questions? We can take a couple of questions. All right, Marion, I do have one question, just to make sure there's clarification. With regards to the change in the method of operation, does that change your hours or just what you do during those hours?
It does not change our hours, no.
So your hours will stay the day.
Correct.
All right. Thank you very much for that.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, at this time, we'd like to call, is there a representative for La Nueva Estrella del Castillo? Okay, call again, is there a representative for La Nueva Estrella del Castillo? Okay, I don't see those two applicants here. Let's move on. If they come in, we'll be able to address them as long as we haven't gotten out of the other. All right, at this time, we're going to go to item 3. This evening, we'll be looking at a street co-naming for Union Street between Nostrand and Rogers Avenues to J. Marjorie Jackson Way. Do we have a representative for that application here this evening? Okay, call for a second. Do we have a representative for that application? Bless you. Okay, we'll move past this. We'll come back at the end of the public session. All right, at this time, we are going to begin the public comment period. I would ask, is there anyone who has not yet signed for public comments or who wishes to do so? Please do that right now with the office. Also, I would like just to make a quick announcement as well. If you are a member of the board, if you have not signed into the attendance, please make sure you sign into the attendance at this time. Okay. All right then, I think we're ready to begin public comment period. Okay, Public commentary is 30 minutes. Time is now 7:22. At this time, if we could call to the front, is there Ms. Brenda Johnson here for public commentary? There's a microphone right there.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Okay, my name is Brenda Johnson, and I'm here on behalf of my apostle, Yvonne Clark. She's we have a church, so she wanted to come and introduce herself. Is that okay?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Apostle Yvonne Clark, and I am the pastor of Lifeline Mission Ministry. We are located at 541 I'm sorry, 975 East New York. And I thank you for this space to allow me to introduce who I am, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Is that, well, no, for public commentary, it's just an opportunity for the public to say, we don't usually do the questions like that. But thank you so much for coming this evening. Okay, next on the list, do we have Diamond Sanders?
Good evening. Good evening. So my name is Diamond Sanders, and the name of my program is Women with a Plan under the Osborne Association. The Osborne Association helps families and those reintegrate back into the community and help those on the inside as well as the outside. My program, I gave the flyer out to some people. We help the woman that was formerly incarcerated reintegrate back into the community, as well as the mother, the wife, the girlfriend, the daughter impacted someone served in jail time or prison time in the past. What do? We provide them with the case management. Oftentimes they're often forgot about, right? That the person that supports the one that's serving the time. So whether it's something as, we will often say that person who answers the phone calls, that sends packages, that goes on the visits, we are here to support that woman. We provide them with case management services that looks like helping them, refocus back on themselves and help them attain their goals. So in the past, some of our women have wound up through our case management services and sometimes our business boot camp. We have funded their LLC, and recently we have someone whose husband served 10 years. However, she's defeated the odds. She has opened up her own juice bar. We also provide tangible support to the women that are affected by the incarceration, right? So let's say a grandmother comes in and she is the caregiver of the kids and their parents are serving the time. And she says, hey, I just put money on that person's books. However, I don't have money to pay my phone bill. If it's in our budget, we are there to support that person. It's case-by-case scenario, it varies. However, we do provide them with legal support if that's what they need. If they need help with tangible items, including women's clothes or children's clothes, we have that support for them. We help them with therapy and, like I said, case management services. So whether that's them planning their business, going back to school, just navigating everyday life, being a caregiver for those who have kids, for them being a wife, for those who are welcoming their husband, brother, son back home, helping them navigate that. From that point of end, they're often forgot about, so that's what my program recognizes. On my program flyer, some of you have it, it's also on the table. There is a QR code for any woman that you know has been affected by the incarceration system. So whether that person served time themselves or if their loved one served time from a day in jail to 10 maximum years in prison, we do help service that woman that was affected. And one of the best things about our program is we do not ask about that person's case or their loved one's case. So we provide them the services. As long as they say they are affected, the services are there for them. We also provide them with opportunities that they may not have for themselves. So in the past, we have taken the women, and as part of our VIP support group, we have taken them to WNBA games. We have taken them to off-Broadway shows. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. You said this flyers at the desk as well? Thank you very much.
The Osborne Association. Thank you.
Okay, next on the speakers list, do we have a Ms. Angie Brown? Is it, and I apologize, is it Angie? Or Annie Brown? Organization is OBT? Okay. All right, we're going to move on next. Do we have Pierre Gideon with us this evening?
Good evening, everyone. Board members, Chair Baptiste, as well as the District Manager, Anwan, and everyone here. My name is Pierre Gideon. I'm with the Mayor's Office, Community Affairs Unit. I'm the Brooklyn Borough Director, so I interact with the community. I definitely interact with the community board. Frequently talk and different things that I can see how I can help out. I'm here just to say that I'm here to support you guys as best as I can from the Mayor's Office. The Mayor tasked us to sort of work with the community to see how we can get problems resolved with agencies and things of that nature. And in addition to that, too, the Mayor's doing a lot. So, louder? Yeah. So, in addition to my support to sort of help the community and be like a middle person between the community and the agencies, I'm also here to also announce some of the things that the Mayor is working on. Maybe you're familiar, maybe you're not. But the Mayor is doing a lot as it pertains to doing works in the city. One of the things that the Mayor is doing right now, as we're moving into the summer month, is that he put plans in place to expand New York City Police Department presence in popular areas, enhance beach and water patrols, and also to fight against impaired driving and traffic enforcement. Also has heat emergency planning and expanded programming for youth as we enter into the summer months. In addition to that as well too, the Mayor has been asking other elected officials to join him in the subway station, as he's trying to get a lot of people out of the subway and, into homes, So he's been, getting other elected officials to come with him as well too, and other people to sort of see what the work is like and how things are done. In addition to that, the Mayor and the Chancellor also announced that they're opening up, several new schools for the 2025-2026 school year, which will be in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. The reason behind that is, to provide more seating for students and to provide more seating, for, so that the community people can still stay in the communities that they're in, but also have more opportunities to have smaller classrooms and more seatings. And also too, this one's is pretty good for city workers. But the mayor's administration, and the partners that he's working with are trying to see how they can wipe out $360 million in student loan, for 100,000 public servants. So if you're a public servant, maybe you're already made aware of this, maybe not. But in the coming, But in the coming months, you might be eligible to actually, apply for this. As soon as I am too, I'm gonna apply for it. So I just wanted to communicate some of this over. One last thing I'll say too is that the Mayor, knows how important bodegas are to the community. So he's investing $1.6 million into a Silent Shield program to provide them connections directly to NYPD in case of emergencies. I have many more other things, but my time ran out. Thank you so much for your time.
Can you give us your contact information?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you can actually just make the announcement as well.
Read it out.
Yes, you can read it.
Can we ask questions?
No, we can't do questions at this time. We're doing public commentaries.
My name is William Pierre Gideon. I'm the Brooklyn Borough Director for the Community Affairs Unit. My cell phone number is 917
One more time. I'm sorry, one more time.
Yeah, my number is 917-984-1790. Feel free to call or text. My email is egeeon@cityhall.nyc.gov. And I can connect you to other people in my office. Communicate,
Mr. Giddy, is it okay if we can give, the office can give your information if anybody requests?
Yes, sure.
Perfect. So we'll have it in the office as well. So if anybody didn't get that, we'll make sure that it's available through the office as well. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this time I'd like to call to the front, Mr. Stephen Miller.
Good evening, everyone. As he said, my name is Stephen Miller. I'm with Cavs Health Network. I go to a lot of community board meetings, but I think this is the most efficient meeting I have ever been to, so congratulations on that. I'm sure it's because there's a Knicks game in about an hour, but whatever. We'll take whatever we can get. But in all seriousness, so Cavs Health Network, we are a healthcare company. Some of you may know us. We've been around for about 50 years. We started in Bedford-Stuyvesant under the behind-the-scenes radar from Shirley Chisholm, which is a pioneering woman here in Brooklyn, if you know your Brooklyn history. We started doing housekeeping. But then that grew into home care. Then that grew into care management. Then it grew into a nursing home. And a lot of other things which I won't get into. But what do we have right now? We still have the home care division. We still have care management. And now, if you have Medicaid, we have something new called the Social Care Network. You're going to hear a lot about this in the coming weeks and months ahead. Medicaid, despite what you may hear on the news, and may get cut, but this program is not getting cut. It was just recently funded. And they want to screen everyone, whether you're a man, woman, or child, to see what services you can get through Medicaid. You can get more food resources. You can get more transportation resources. You can get more housing resources. Again, all you have to do is get screened, which takes about 15 minutes, no cost, no obligation. That's what the Social Care Network is all about. Home care, I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. Maybe somebody you know has it. It's basically for someone, we stereotype the elderly, but we know a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who also may need the care and are not elderly. So you have to keep those people in mind. But it's sending someone in maybe a few days a week, a few hours a day to help them with their activities of daily living. It could be going out to a senior center that I was at today. Beautiful center. There were home health aides with the seniors there. It could be helping them go to a doctor's office. It could be helping them prepare their meals so they don't blow up the house by leaving the gas on. Whatever it is. That's covered usually by Medicaid as well. Medicaid in New York is the golden ticket for most healthcare services. And most people will come to me after a meeting like this, and I'll stick around for a little bit. Oh, Steve, that sounds great, but I've got too much money. I don't qualify for Medicaid. Well, that's not necessarily true. New York is the most generous Medicaid provider in the country. If you own a home, yes, you can apply for Medicaid. You can put the home in your child's name. Oh, I work for the city. I have a huge pension. Okay, well, you can take that money and put it into a trust and still apply for Medicaid. These are resources that are that are available to you that you should take advantage of. Your taxes pay for this stuff, so you might as well take advantage of it. Again, my name is Steve Miller. My number is 917-774-9381. My email address, Dante has it, but I'll give it to everyone here as well, is smiller@cavshomecare.org. That's CABShomecare.org. I don't know if that was more or less than 3 minutes, but I hope I was okay.
Right on time, sir. Thank you very much.
I always like to say this at the end of my conversation. If anyone here is a veteran, thank you for your service. I hope yesterday, if you lost anyone in the military, was a meaningful and impactful day, because again, without our armed services, we'd have nothing in this country.
Thank you very much for that, sir. All right, this time, next on the speakers list, we have, is Cam? I apologize. Come on, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'd just like to talk real quick about the Major Owens Center. I had an experience over there that I just wanted to share. So my oldest son, he wanted to start using the pool to practice his swimming. And I went there to sign up for, I thought a family membership would be the appropriate thing to do. I've been a member of YMCA's, boys clubs, boys and girls clubs, etc. So when I went there was a taller gentleman, with a lot of tattoos, and I said, I'd like the family membership. He said, well, there's only two designations of family membership. Both of those memberships require two parents, and one of them, family membership number 1, is 2 parents and 1 child. Family membership number 2 is 2 parents and 2 children, which automatically creates a conflict for me. I'm a single father. I have 2 children, 2 sons who live with me. So I didn't see how that worked. He seemed very dismissive, kind of like, hey, get out of here, you know, we can't work with you or whatever. I went to the website and I checked it out, and there actually was a family membership number 3. Family membership number 3 is 1 parent and only exactly 2 children. So we have that issue as well. Now I have a daughter, she's with me part-time, so if I wanted to put her on that family membership, that one wouldn't work either. So you can see the calculus behind this is complicated. I didn't know exactly where to go with it. It didn't seem to align very well to what probably happens in this community, but I know that there is some type of association with the community board and the Major Owens Center. There is a community board membership as well, which I also didn't qualify for. I guess I've worked too many overtime hours or something for that. There's a lot of issues here. Now again, when we talk about these types of family memberships, I've never seen anything like this before. So if there's anybody who has gone to Major Owens and has been turned away, I'd advise you to look at their online website, the 3 designations of family membership, and see if you fit any of those. But on a larger scale, if I know from being in the Parks and Recreation Committee, we do talk a lot about Major Owens. If there's anyone on the board or anybody affiliated, please consider revising and rethinking this family membership policy. It just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. I know that we should be talking about more important things here, like who's building the next storage facility on Empire Boulevard, but this actually does matter. Why I'm on the community board is because of these types of issues of giving our children in particular access to certain resources. There's not enough pools in our community. There's not enough of this. And to have family memberships that are kind of restricting and not really aligned is an issue. Thank you.
No, thank you very much for that. And Dante, is there a possibility, can we reach out to you? Okay, we'll do that. And to be clear, this is an important issue as well, so we don't say that this is not an important issue. They're all issues that affect us, so thank you very much for bringing it up.
Mr. Chairman, I have something that I can add also, but I can speak to Dante on that, because our school were told that we couldn't have field day, and when we did push forward, they charged us an extra $1,000.
All right, and just for the public certification, I don't want to go because I know that we want to complete this. Major Owens is a separate entity from the board. There is a relationship, but they are separate from us. But this is absolutely an appropriate forum to bring these issues here so we can discuss with them. There is an advisory board that we do have, a liaison to as well, so we can make sure we bring these issues up as well. But thank you very much for that, Bishop. Cam, thank you very much for that as well. Make sure we refer these issues. Good. Next on the speakers list, we have Michelle Bernard.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I know y'all are tired of seeing me. I have nothing prepared tonight. I just want to say, for those that don't know, I represent an organization of people that live in East Flatbush that are oversaturated with new buildings that are coming, homeless shelters and of such. Now, we agree there needs to be homes built, but we ask that Letitia James, the Attorney General, give the same respect that you spoke about, that you wanted respect with the rules of conduct. Give us the same respect in East Flatbush. Have a community impact hearing. We should be heard with what's going on. Below Empire, there's so many bike lanes, you know, the city bikes takes up the parking. Then we have bike lanes that are coming below Empire on Brooklyn and Kingston. That's going to take up even more parking. Then there's construction that they're going to build up. 9 buildings in one area, 9 buildings over 10 stories, 9 at one time. If you look all around this community when you drive, there's no real buildings over 7 stories. There's no buildings over 7 stories around here, except for the hospital that we're in. But they want to put 9 buildings over 10 stories. They already have 2 going up over 12 stories. They have one on Clarkson and Parkside and New York Avenue. That's going up as well. We stand to get 13 buildings below Empire, 13. You hear different communities talking about 1 shelter being built. We're going to get 13 and 4 shelters. And I just think that we're just getting screwed. We really are. And then they want to put up bike lanes to take up all the parking. Can we live? Can someone help us? We have no representation. All our elected officials have no backbone when it comes to this area. No one wants to touch it. Everyone says, oh, it's just the state. We can't do this and we can't do that. But trust me, everyone can do something. And the sad part is the community that I live in, they all kind of gave up. I'm fat. I have not sang yet. And I'm going to continue trying.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. All right, at this time, I will call to the front Menachem Moskowitz.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Menachem Moskowitz. I'm part of the East Flatbush community, and I could call whatever Michelle said. Cheryl just said. I live over there, and it's very painful to watch these new constructions happening in our community. Oversaturated. We have a big Jewish community and a big community, and the homeowners that we can't handle these gigantic buildings coming up. And we would like that these projects should stop, you know, because I personally I'm scared with these projects to go up, because I personally was almost strangled to death at my corner on East 46th Street and Rutland. So I'm petrified that they build more home shelters and all these things. So I would love that this project should at least be halted or minimized to not these 13 buildings to go up gigantic. And I'm going to be very petrified. I walk down the street now. I always look all over the place because I'm scared somebody's going to attack me, because somebody did try to strangle me to death twice within 8 minutes. Thank God the person is now in prison, with very much with the police department tracking him down and getting him sentencing him. And thank you for the district attorney Eric Adams, not Eric Adams, Aaron Gonzalez, that he with his staff, that the perpetrator was sentenced to death. I would like to also say that we're going to be full of these buildings. We're not going to have any parking spaces, and traffic is going to be galore. And also, we're going to have a lot of, as is, when there's heavy rains, things fall, we have floods. Now, with all these new buildings without sewers and all that, we're going to have a lot more floodings and all that. I would also like to take the opportunity to with the bike lanes and all that, that it's very hard. I have a wife that always has to go by can't use a transit authority, and this because she has a very big anxiety attacks. She takes medication for anxiety attacks, and every time I have to drive to Manhattan and drive all over, and with all these, every time you have bike lanes and all this and limiting cars, it's very painful. I have to go. It used to take me 40 minutes to go to Manhattan. It takes me an hour or something now in Manhattan. And also to different neighborhoods. It used to take me 15, 20 minutes to go, let's say, from Crown Heights to Borough Park. It takes me almost an hour right now with all these bike lanes and situations. So I would like that also should have in mind that other people also, the health reasons, people can't use transportation and they need cars. And that's a very big issue. Not only one-way situation, but the pedestrians and bikes should have their way, and not people that need health issues and you have to use cars.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mossman. Okay, that completes the public commentary section. I thank all those who came and spoke tonight on various. You're not? Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I'm here advocating for East Flatbush. For the record, Menachem is actually one of the strongest guys around. He says he's fearful, but Menachem actually went on the news. He went up to a random stranger who's walking on Schenectady Avenue. He says, "Hello, how are you?" And then this guy randomly says, "You took my house, you stole my house, you stole my deed." The stranger starts proceeding to choke Menachem, and Menachem is being choked to death. If it wasn't for two nurses who live in the neighborhood, he wouldn't be with us. Just a point of correction, I think Menachem was saying that he thought he was sentenced to death. The gentleman who was arrested and convicted was not sentenced to death. It was just a figure of words. He was sentenced to a certain amount of time. Is that correct, Menachem? Yes. So I'm here advocating that with regard to Vital Brooklyn, what's been going on is there's a big project, a lot of land, and there's telling people, look, we're trying to help you. We're here for you. And the way that they're doing it is they're tricking you. They're taking advantage of you. And I'm going to tell you specifically. Many people know about the Vital Brooklyn. What's the name of the health thing? The Medgar Evers, or the way that they, instead of taking the land like they did for the previous armory, the Brooklyn Armory, instead of taking the land that they had for the armory, which was state lands, and giving it to the city so that you all can have an opportunity to be part of the process in terms of the ULURP process, what they did is they railroaded you. And they instead gave this to New York State Empire State Development, so you would not have a voice. The way that the Brooklyn Bedford Armory was done, it was given to New York City Economic Development Corp. They did this so you wouldn't have a voice. There's been no voice for the community. I'm here that Letitia James have a community impact hearing just like she did for Westchester and the Bronx. In the past 2 months, you'll see the notices that I handed out. She has to approve this project. Not simply review it, she has to approve it. She should have been an involved party in terms of secret, and she should have given testimony. If you have to approve something, you're an involved party, but people are protecting her. The only thing that the communities have before an elected official is Assemblyman Cunningham, and he wouldn't let people speak. You could write it, he said, you could write it down on a piece of paper, hand it up to me. He took the crowd into the game. My friend Cheryl was there. No one could speak, okay? Cheryl had a megaphone. It is time that the community, there's a disproportionate amount of homeless, okay? It's maybe 45, 50% when the city rule is 15%, and the parking is 1,081 units without any parking spots. There's a supermarket, 8,000 square feet, 15 spots, and you have 63,000 worth of commercial. The community should have a voice. So new members here, the only thing I ask for you is, you don't have to know the issue. I'm finishing the sentence. You don't have to know the issue of the specific subject to go to the merit. You just have to allow the community to have a voice, where Letitia James can have a community impact hearing, so she could finally hear, she has to approve this, so she could finally hear from a community which hasn't had a voice yet.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is there anybody else who had signed up previously for public commentary? Okay, all right. All right, so at this time, then we've exhausted the list. I want to thank all the speakers who have given that commentary. We consider this a very important part of what we do here as a board, because we understand that it's necessary for us to have this dialogue. We have to share what's going on. We have to understand what's happening in parts of the district that aren't our own necessarily. One of the things I always say is we don't know what we don't know as a board. So this is the reason why it's very important that we hear this commentary and that we can take these things, these actions back to our committees, to the district office, which I will plug very hard when I get to my chairman's report. But this is the way as a community we can actually start taking action on things and escalating things where we need to as well. So again, I thank everyone who participated in part of public commentary this evening. All right, at this time, we are now going to move to acknowledgements. If you are a representative, an elected official, or a representative, right, if you have not signed in, please let us know. We're going to have the list in a second. We'll take it in a second. Don, do we have the list? Oh, okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start calling, and then we are going to have, just come to the side and you can have you sign in. But first, if we can have a representative from the Honorable Yvette Clark's office.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ellie Slavin. I'm community liaison for Congresswoman Yvette Clark. You know, the Congresswoman spends most of the time in D.C. We're located at 222 Lenox Road between Rogers and Ostrin. Our number is 718-287-1142. Now, there's a lot of things happening in Washington, bills that you're sponsoring, co-sponsoring, or supporting. So please, I don't like to take up time at the meetings. Go to clark.house.gov. clark.house.gov. We deal in all federal issues, and I like to mention on these meetings, people are now traveling, summertime is coming up. Make sure your passports are valid at least for 6 months. However, if you find yourself traveling within a week or 10 days and you see that your passport is not valid, please reach out to us, because we do have representation in the Manhattan Passport Center, where we can try 99.99% of the time we're successful, and we can get you an emergency passport by you visiting the office with all proper documentation. We do have upcoming for Monday, June 6, 6 p.m., an in-person town hall meeting with the Congresswoman. I left flyers on the table where you will scan the barcode, and it will, when you do scan, we will send you information by email where the meeting, at this point now it's to be established, where the meeting is taking place. So again, I wish you all a pleasant evening, and my number is 202-821-7906. So please, if you need any assistance with federal issues, do reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simon. All right, next, I saw a hand go up. Do we have a representative for the Honorable Antonio Reynosa's office?
Good night, everyone. My name is Bianca Stevenson. I'm the community coordinator for the Honorable Antonio Reynosa's office, and also the liaison to Community Board 9 for the Borough President. I just want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Borough President to welcome all the cohort of the 2025 to 2027 Community Board 9 membership. I recognize some faces here from Zoom. Good to see you all. Welcome, dive in, and let's get it done as the Borough President likes to say, a Brooklyn for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have a representative from the Honorable Farrah Forrest's office?
Hey, good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Awesome. My name is Justin Freeman. I am the Director of Community Affairs for Assemblymember Farrah Forrest. I want to say congratulations to the new board members. I'm happy to see, new faces accompanied by recognized faces that are recognized here this evening. The Assembly members up in Albany, so I'm here to represent her gladly. Our office is at 55 Hanson Place, room 328, across from the Barclays Center. And the Assembly member represents Clinton Hill, Fort Greene, Bed-Stuy, and Crown Heights. So I just wanted to give you guys a few updates. So we have a housing clinic that we do every third Wednesday of the month, okay? I have flyers for the next clinic on Wednesday, June 18th. Last Wednesday, we had around 8 appointments show up. So from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can take a 30-minute time slot, a 30-minute appointment to speak with a housing lawyer. If you have an issue with your landlord, lease renewal, not getting repairs done, your neighbor's not doing you right. You can come talk about that, see what we can do. We do individual cases, and we're also doing collective, organizable cases. So if you have a building that's looking to organize, come to our office, you get that legal representation. That's a key piece to organizing against your landlord and protecting your rights as tenants. Tomorrow, we're having a Freeze the Rent campaign canvas at Ebbets Field. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So if you want, I'll give you my number at the end, but also my information is on the table. You can come there. It's at 6 p.m. We'll knock on doors, get people to sign a petition to get the mayor, the next mayor, to freeze the rent for rent-stabilized tenants. Most, if not all, tenants in Ebbets Field are rent-stabilized. Most of Farrah's district, 70-something% of it, 73% of it, are tenants. So we need to protect those folks and their housing. One last thing. I'm a veteran. I'm happy. I want to say thanks for your service, anyone here that's a veteran, but I think, we all serve the community in different ways, right? The first Memorial Day was on May 1st, 1865, when Black people exhumed Union soldiers that were tortured and buried them, gave them proper rights, 257 people. It's important that we remember they moved the date from May 1st, why? To the end, to the last Monday of the month. We have to remember that history and remember our elders' history here that also organized for our rights as well. Just wanted to drop that. Thank you so much. Also, sorry, one last thing. My number, 347-314-4076. Text me, call me, whenever, okay? Thanks.
Thank you very much. Are there any other representatives? I have a couple of names left. Are there any representatives with any agencies or elected officials who did not sign in? Okay, I'm going to call the last two names off for acknowledgments, and then we're going to move on. Well, actually, let me do this one after. Is there a representative from Blue Nook? Is there a representative from Blue Nook? Okay, seeing none. Is there a representative from La Nueva Estrella del Castillo? Is there a representative for the street code naming for Union Street to J. Marjorie Jackson Way? All right, thank you very much. Okay, so next, we're going to return back to order. If we could have, yes. Yes, if we could have Arnold Lipkin. We can't forget you.
Good evening, everybody. Great to see everybody. New members, welcome, and old veterans, also welcome. I'm sorry, I didn't mean old. Veterans, welcome. My name is Arnold Lipkin. I'm from IDCC, which is Interborough Community Development Center. It is a mental health clinic. We have all kinds of services. We have regular counseling from age 5 and up. We have psychiatrists, if anyone needs medication. We also have a great program called LSA, which is a substance abuse program. And that is an excellent team. It's an outpatient program. There are peers there. They take them to the DA's office if need be. The DA has a special floor just for that one program where they do GED and career development. So I have my information with me. Please feel free. I will be happy to give you my contact information. Meanwhile, I am part of Connect. Connect is a social services program to enhance mental health. So we help out with casework, benefits, food insecurity, and a little bit of housing. And on that note, we do a lot of outreach. So our upcoming event on that note will be our Senior Wellness Fair, of which we are partnering with Community Board 9, Assemblymember Cunningham, Downstate Hospital, and a number of other offices. And it's going to be really excellent, taking place on June 11th, Wednesday, at Metz Hamilton Park, which is East New York, between Troy and Albany. That'll be from 1 to 4. We will have all kinds of agencies, health and wellness, give some food, and some giveaways. So please, I'm going to come around with these flyers, and I'll be happy to share it, and share it also with your neighbors. Thank you, and have a great rest of the month of May. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have one more.
And as Arna said, June 11th, that's a memorable day because that's my birthday. My name is Shannon Shaw, and I'm from HeartShare Human Services. We are one of the largest providers of services for people with disabilities and also people who are impacted by the child welfare system. We've been around for almost 200 years now, and I wanted to share, we serve people in foster care. We have an Article 16 clinic, and I want to share an Article 30 about our Article 31 clinic. So we have recently rebranded to call our clinic State Street Healing, and it is non-traditional modalities, art therapy, working to support people who are at risk of having their families like torn apart, children with lots of trauma, young adults. And so we actually just recently got Medicaid parity, so we can serve anyone, even with commercial, commercial insurance. So I just wanted to share that. I'll be right here. Our name again is HeartShare, and we've been around the community doing a lot of work. Especially, we also have some supportive housing for kids who've aged out of foster care in the neighborhood. And so I just wanted to share and say hello, everyone, and good to see you. And thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time we have...
That was so kind of you. Happy New Evening, everyone. I'm not going to hold you, I promise. I'm Sabrina Lewis. I live in a community, I've been living in the community where my parents have for over 50 years. But I'm not here for that. I'm here representing an organization that I currently manage our programs, Patient Centers Council in Brooklyn, New York. We're actually CB17, but we connect with everyone in Brooklyn, right? And so we have many different programs from ESL to programs catered to the LGBTQ plus community. We focus on substance abuse support, ESL support. I just left one of my ESL classes. We just have so many wonderful things happening. We have mental health for youth and for young adults. And so if you want to reach out to us, I have some flyers. This is our logo. Everything is on the table over here. My direct phone number is 718-940-2200, extension 124. My email address is slewis@hcc. inc.org. Thank you so much. I appreciate this time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mia.
Okay. LEWIS. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, so that completes the acknowledgements. And again, I want to thank all the representatives and I want to thank all the elected officials for sharing the news that the different agencies and offices are doing and elected officials. And this is a regular part of their work, so this is where we get to understand what our partners in the community are doing and what services are being offered. And with that, that concludes our public session. I want to thank everyone again for their comments. At this time, we are now going to open our business session. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Good night. Hello? Abdul Mahabir? Nicholas Almanar? Fred Baptiste? Solan Benjamin? Catherine Bocello? Joanne Carr? Suki Chow? Kendall Christensen? Jolie Cobb? Eve Cohen? Soul Carey? Soul Carey? Max Davison? Max Davison? Brittany Ellington? Brittany Ellington? Lisa Etienne? Vadim Gabois? Is that how you pronounce it? Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez? Here. Shauna Hartley? Here. Rob Herbert? Absent. Drew Johnston? Here. Bonnie Joseph? Here. Renisha Labari? Mina Legote? Francisca Leopold? Christian Leboy? Present. Andrew Micah? Here. Letwin Mavina? Marcia Maxwell? Marcia Maxwell? Vanna Mears? Vanna Mears? Vanna Mears? Rohan Minoy? Present. Latimucci? Ethan Norville? Denzel Adoro? Denzel Adoro? Isaiah Piku? That's it, correct. Hassan Kazmi? Vanessa? Felice Robertson? Vinnie Rosenberger? Melissa Savia? Emily Smith? Emily Smith? Bakari Candia? Joshua Thomas Serrano? Abigail Tin? Present. Debbie Timothy? Present. Twyla Ware? Twyla Ware?
Linda Watson Lord, that's me. Dawn Welters, Teresa Westerdahl, Dawn Williams, Lorianne Wilsley, Steve Zelter. That's how you do it. Thank you. Hold on a minute.
All right, as the secretary tallies, is there anyone who did not hear their name called? Yes, ma'am. What's your name? William Swain.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You sold it. All right, thank you, Ms. Swain. Is there anyone? All right, is there anyone else who did not hear their name called as part of the roll call?
I got you, sir.
You got yourself.
Okay.
I'm sorry, was there anyone else? I thought someone else. Well, let me stop that. All right, as we are confirming that, at this time, part of the package, you should have received a copy of the April 2025 General Board meeting minutes. Please be ready. If there are any corrections to be made, we'll call for those at that time. And just to give a rundown of our next steps. Then we are going to hear committee reports. Committee reports have already been submitted in writing. At this time, anything with an action item is already part of the vote, the voting session. So we would ask if you are a chair of a committee, if you submitted your report, but there's an urgent announcement, I repeat, an urgent announcement that you would like to make for the board, please do so. Please take 1 minute or so to make that urgent announcement for that. We have transportation chair is going to be doing dining out applications. We have 2, I believe, we're supposed to be considering for this evening. Then we're going to do something special orders. So this is not a regular order where, per the bylaws, we have nominations that happen at this time of the year. So the nominations committee chair will come and give a report about that in terms of their activities. Then we'll have reports from the district manager, myself, and we'll go into the voting session. You clear? Okay. And we'll talk through. If there are any questions as we go through, we'll try to.
We do have a quorum of 38 members present. Thank you, go.
All right, for the secretary, we have a quorum. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, at this time, we're going to go into item 2 of the business session, the approval of the April 2025 General Board meeting minutes. Copy of the minutes that should have been sent as part of the package. It's available as part of the package this evening. At this time, are there any corrections to be made to the minutes? I call for a second time. Are there any corrections to be made to the minutes? All right, please note, member Twyla Ware is present. Thank you. All right, hearing no corrections. Is there any objection to adopting the minutes by common consent? Hearing no objection, Madam Secretary, please note the minutes are adopted by common consent of the board. At this time, we are now going to go into item 3, committee reports. Let's do this first. Are there any chairs who have urgent announcements they would like to make to supplement their written reports?
Good evening, everyone. Just want to remind you that the next lien sale is scheduled for June 3rd, 2025. The last day to take action is June 2nd, 2025. That means that if you know anyone who has not paid their property taxes, water or sewer charges, and any other property-related charges, their property may be at risk of being included in the lien sale. What that means is that the City of New York sells your debt to an authorized buyer. The buyer then has the right to collect what you owe. This does not mean that your property has been sold, but if you do not resolve the outstanding debt, the lien sale can be a first step towards foreclosure. So there are different options that you can take. That's included in the weekly, can't think of the word, mail blast, e-blast from Dante and the office. So if you know anyone who may have any of these debts, they are at risk of having a lien put on their property. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, the district manager will address that point, this part of this report. All right, are there any other chairs with announcements? So, did you want to make an announcement about the?
One last announcement is from our Youth Services Library and Education Committee. On this Saturday, May 31st, we will be having our careers job fair day. It will be held at Francis de Sales School next to the Brooklyn Museum on Eastern Parkway. We begin at 10 o'clock and at 2:30. And we would like to invite our board members to participate. You can volunteer, you can see me or so after the meeting. We do need volunteers, and we also want you to share it with your family, your friends age 14 to 24. So we're looking forward to have a fantastic day. We've got a good number of vendors. You're invited to attend. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much. All right, so this time we're going to go to section A, transportation, which will be the dining out applications. At this time, I would ask the first vice chair, who's also the chair of the transportation committee, to discuss those applications, which we'll be considering this evening.
All right, hi to all the new members and to everybody else. Thanks for coming. So when it comes to conversation, on our committee, we often get applications from restaurants that usually address the outdoor dining and the setup for those things. This time we got two applications. One, I believe, from Ish and one from John. And the committee approved these two as shown in the applications. We didn't have any comments for John in any of the criteria. We approved it outright. For Ish, we did have a few comments, mainly on pedestrian flow. We had one single concern, which was that that segment of Lincoln Road where they typically... Huh? Okay. All right. Louder it is. Yeah, so we had one area comment for Ish, and it was around Lincoln Road where they usually have their outdoor dining set up. It's pretty busy, often in the summer, and there are choke points where pedestrian flow can get a little bit slowed. So we want to make sure that they're aware of that and that they make sure the setup allows for, optimal pedestrian travel. Now, we've noted that their current setup, what they've been using recently, is open. It's not as large and as imposing as their previous structure, so it's less likely to be happening. But we just wanted to note that and direct them to pay more attention to pedestrian flow with regards to that application. Those two have generally been approved. The other thing we have on the floor today would be the street cleaning application. The AKAs came to present to our committee back in, in May, in this month, and they wanted to apply for a co-naming for J. Marjorie Jackson Way on Union Street. Now, the committee was pretty pleased by the presentation, and we also approved that one because she was pretty instrumental to folks in Crown Heights. She composed one of the AKA's hymns, which began to control him. And she also provided an arts education for hundreds of students from Crown Heights. And it grew into a large school, with, over 13 teachers, and they had a very, actively recurring student body, and we appreciate her for her work in that area. So the committee approved that street code naming. We didn't have any issues with it, and we are additionally pleased to have more, positive street code namings that are about people who've achieved things from the area to sort of, help promote those who have lived here and come from here and, contributed some good back to this area.
Okay, so those are the those are the three items that will be considered under transportation. So the two dining out applications, as well as the street corner. I actually just checked the email, so I actually received an email. So the representative for the street corner naming had an issue; they're not able to come this evening, and they send their address to ask me if there's any questions. Even I think Roy addressed that.
We can't hear any of you. It's like we just
All right, so I'm gonna try this again. Those are they are the applications. So the street code, the dining out applications considered by the Transportation Committee, voted on them, approved by the Executive Committee, those will be considering this evening. I'll turn the mic back over to the chair at this point, so we'll be able to take questions on those items. Additionally, there's the street code name. You heard me call a couple of times. I just received a message that unfortunately their representative had an issue last minute and they're not able to come before the board, so they send their regrets. But at this time, we will also ask if there are any questions regarding that application, to turn that to the chair. He will answer as best as he can as well. And then the board can decide how we dispose of that at this point as well. All right, at this time, are there any questions regarding the applications for dining out? Okay, are there any questions regarding the street code name for J. Marjorie Jackson Way? Okay, yes, ma'am.
dining out. Are the representatives here? They're not. So we're not voting since they're not here. Is that correct?
No, they are voting. They were not required to come in. They were not required to come before.
So is that because it's under the
Correct. Right. Okay. All right then. All right. So when we get to the voting session, that'll be a last opportunity. If any questions, of course, we can entertain at that time. All right. So this time we are now going to go to item number 4, special orders, which is the nominations committee. At this time, could I ask the chair for the nominations committee to please come forward? And as the chair is coming, especially for the new members, but this is probably for the entire board, just so that would be clear. The process, officers are elected by the board annually. Every year, every officer has to run for a position. So our process is spelled out in the bylaws, starts in April with the impaneling of a nominations committee. The nominations committee is charged with canvassing the board, identifying candidates. When they've done that, they are going to provide a report of what responses were received, which we are going to hear momentarily from the chair. At that point, the floor will be open. So if there are members of the board who wish to run for one of the officer positions, you will have an opportunity this month to declare that you wish to be a candidate. Right. You can either nominate yourself or somebody can be nominated, but whoever's nominated must accept as well. Once we close the nominations, that is it. Those are the names that will appear on the ballot. Okay? We don't open the nominations in June. The ballots are printed with the names of those who have accepted nominations at this month, which we're going to be doing very shortly. In the June meeting, the last step is the actual elections, where you will choose a name either on the ballot or you will have an opportunity to do a write-in vote at that time. Okay? But at this time, let me do this. Let me turn it over to the chair who will give the report. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Okay, great. My name is Melissa Severe. I'm the chair of the nominations committee, and I'm pleased to present you an update of the executive board election process. So the nominations committee consists of 5 members of the board, myself and Jolie, Lorraine, Fran, and Bishop.
Okay, and we all volunteered to be part of this committee on April 22nd at the last full board meeting. So since then, we've met on May 7th to discuss our the duties and the election timeline, and we began doing outreach to the board members. So the board office sent emails to everyone to let them know of the positions, roles, responsibilities, and if they are interested in running, you can just reply to that email. So we gave a deadline of May 14th, I believe, to respond. And we also did some outreach phone calls to everyone just to double check, see if there were people that were still interested. And then on May 21st, we reconvened and all together, we did some additional phone calls. And altogether, about 13 board members will be running for different offices. 9 folks have not responded, and 13 folks declined to run. So that's where we are right now. Did you maybe say anything more?
That's it for process. At this point, I think just let us know who accepted, who's nominated for office.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Right, she's going to read the list of who's accepted nominations, and then we will open the floor for each position.
Okay. So for the position of board chair, we had Fred Baptiste. For vice chair, we have Ethan, Jolie, and Sol. For second vice chair, Linda, Abdul, and Felice. For executive secretary, we have Linda again. For treasurer, we have Mina. For member at large, we have Nicholas, Kat, Benjamin, and Lisa.
If you could do that again one more time for the record, just so the secretary can capture.
Okay.
So for chair, you have
Fred Baptiste. Vice chair, Ethan.
Norville,
Norville, Jolie Cobb. Sol Prairie. Linda Watson Lord. Abdul, Felice.
This is for all first vice chair?
Sorry, that's for second vice chair. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. Repeat first vice chair. Who's first vice chair?
First vice chair.
Norville.
Ethan Norville.
Cobb.
Jolie Cobb. And Sol Prairie.
For second vice chair, who are the candidates?
Second vice chair, Linda.
Good. Watson Lord.
Abdul.
Watson Lord.
Watson Lord. Abdul Mahabir. Felice. Last name. Felice Robertson. Excuse me. And for executive secretary, Linda Watson Lord again.
Watson Lord.
For treasurer, Mina Lagute.
Treasurer.
For member at large, Nicholas Almanor.
Okay.
Kat Buccello. Benjamin Rosenberg. And Lisa Etienne.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so at this time, we are now going to open the floor. So Madam Chair, if you could just call for each category, each office. Call 3 times, we'll capture any names for anybody who wishes to run for the position. Once she's called the 3rd time, we are going to close the nominations on the names that have been called. Are we clear? So she's going to call for chairperson. John Smith. John Smith is on there. Call for a 2nd time. Is there anyone who wishes to nominate themselves? Nobody else. She calls again for a 3rd time. When she calls for the 3rd time, when there's no one else who has actually given their name, we close the nominations on those names. Are we clear? Okay. Go ahead, Madam Chair.
Okay. So anyone interested in running for chair of Community Board 9? Chair of Community Board 9. Yes, he is. Open, it's wide open right now. Okay. 3rd time, Chair of Community Board 9. Anyone interested? No. All right, moving on.
So the nominations are closed.
Okay, next category, uncontested. Next category, 1st vice chair. Anyone would like to run? second chance. Anyone would like to run? Do I have to like time this out a certain way? Oh, say how many people are on there. Okay, great. Sorry, this is like the first time doing this. Okay, first vice chair, we have Ethan, Jolie, and Sol. Is anyone else interested in running for first vice chair? Okay. All right, one more time. Anyone interested in running for first vice chair? Okay. Second vice chair, we have Linda, Abdul, and
Let's do that
Felice.
officially. So listen, so last chance. So for first vice chair, we have Ethan Norville, we have Billy Cobb, and Sol Query. For first vice chair, we have Ethan Norville, Jolie Cobb, and Sol Query. The chair is called 3 times. Okay?
No problem. Okay, for second vice chair, there is Linda Watson-Lord, Abdul Mahabir, and Felice Robertson. Would anyone else like to run for first vice chair? Second vice chair, excuse me.
Oh, Madam Chair?
Say it again.
Please remove me.
You would like me to remove your name? Okay. Linda is removing her name from first vice chair.
Second vice chair.
Second vice chair. Will anyone else like to run for second vice chair? Third time, will anyone else like to run for second vice chair? Okay. Executive secretary, Linda, are you keeping your name there?
Let's call the names for the record. So for second vice chair, the nominations are closing on the names of, I'm sorry.
Linda, Abdul, and Felice.
Linda removed her name. Abdul and Felice
Felice.
Robertson. Okay? So the nominations are closed on those, so we have those 2 candidates. So the next one is for secretary, and the names you have for secretary are?
Linda.
Linda Watson-Lord. Anyone else?
That's it. Okay.
So that's called 2 more times.
All right. Anyone else? Anybody? Okay, nobody.
Okay?
Is there a way?
All right, the nominations for secretary are closed on the name of Linda Watson-Lord. So that is the only name on the ballot for secretary. Next candidate will be for treasurer.
Okay. For treasurer, we have Mina Lagute. Mina Lagute. Is anyone else interested in running for the position of treasurer? Is anyone else interested in running for the position of treasurer? Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
All right, hearing no other names, the nominations are closed for treasurer on the name of Mina Lagute. All right, so the next office is for member at large. And just for everyone to know, there are 2 members at large. So we elect 2 members at large at the elections. Madam Chair, if you could tell us who the names were, those who responded to the list.
We have Nicholas Almanor, Kat Bucello, Benjamin Rosenberg, and Lisa Etienne.
Okay, so we have Nicholas Almanor, Kat Bucello, Benjamin Rosenberger, and Lisa Etienne. Okay, go ahead, Madam Chair, call for see if there's anybody else.
Is anyone interested in running for the position of member at large? We have 2 positions available for member at large. Yes, I'm not sure your name.
I apologize. That's one of the points we should have pointed out. To be eligible to run for an office, you have to have served on the board for a year. So unfortunately, new members are actually not eligible to run. But thank you very much for considering that.
Is anyone else interested in running for member at large? Member at large? Anyone else?
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And with that, the nominations are closing. So for member at large, the names on the ballot will be Nicholas Almanor, Kat Bucello, Benjamin Rosenberger, and Lisa Etienne. Madam Secretary, you have all the names? Okay. Madam Chair, thank you very much. At this point, the one item that we should also discuss is that typically, per tradition on the board, we ask for all candidates to please submit bios. So we ask for bios to please be submitted, especially for the benefit of the new members, because we understand that you're being thrown right into something to both people you have just met tonight. So part of what we ask for is for all the candidates to please submit bios. Do you have a deadline or a timeline you would like to have that submitted? One a week? Probably 2 weeks, probably. Just to give enough time to get out. You can compile them and send them out. Okay. All right, so there will be a notice that will be sent out to all the candidates. We're going to request that you please submit bios. That will be circulated to the boards. That way they can, get to meet you, get to know you, understand your qualifications and the reasons why you wish to serve in that capacity. All right, so a notification will go out to all the candidates. Please send those in. When we have the meeting in June, the other tradition we also have is candidates will be allowed about 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes to actually introduce themselves to the board, to state their qualifications, to tell us a little bit about yourself and why we should vote for you as candidate. Okay, so that's going to be the run of show over the next month for the election process. All right. Other than that, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Oh yes. Well, actually, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. Hold on 1 second before you go. I know. Let me ask this: are there any questions for the nominations committee chair? I do see a couple of questions. We'll just do that really quickly. All right, hold on 1 second. Take the speakers list. Ms. Westerdahl, I see you. Who else has a? Ms. Cohen, I see you. Hold on. Who else had a question? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Martin. Unfortunately, it's board members only at this time. Are there any other board members who have questions at this time for the nominations committee chair? All right, seeing none, Ms. Westerdahl, you take the floor.
Yeah, hi, Teresa Westerdahl. I just want to have some clarity and for you to know that the last 2 elections have run with some problems. And I'd like for us to avoid those problems. One of the problems was for not this last year, but the one before that, was we lost quorum after the election. People left, there was a lot of talking, a lot of stuff going on. We didn't move quickly and with the impetus that we needed to get the elections done. So therefore, there was a tie, and it's in violation of our bylaws. The voting is supposed to be done within that session, the runoff, and it was not. That was a violation of our bylaws. And then again, this last election, there was a tie, right? And that tie was supposed to be done before the end, and it was not. And then we had a later vote, and it was incorrectly counted. There was chicken scratch used. I saw how the election was run. There was chicken scratch. It was not correctly counted. I had to wait the whole summer to recount it. Let's avoid these problems in the future. Let's have a spreadsheet. Let's move along so we can vote and get out of here. Let's please come. Let's stay here and do the voting right. Let's not have problems and violate people's rights. Let's not have lawsuits. Let's not have problems like we are having. I want to avoid that and warn everybody. So please and thank you.
Just to address that very quickly, the point taken with regards to the election process, and I just want to give this notice very quickly. June, as it's our last meeting, is going to be a very tight meeting. So the one thing we're going to ask is everyone is here on time. We're going to be working with the nominations committee to make sure that we do this as expeditiously as possible. The part that's going to mean we need to be very focused in terms of the agenda. We're going to make sure we get through it as quickly as possible. We've tried to outline the process in advance. We'll be working directly with the nominations committee, and the district office will be assisting them in that as well to make sure we do this. But again, it's going to be incumbent upon the board. Let's follow directions. Let's make sure we check off in the right spots, and we'll make sure that we ensure that the count is done as quickly as possible. And we're going to do the very best we can to try and make sure we can handle a runoff situation if it happens. Okay? Thank you very much. I'm sorry. And Ms. Cohen.
Yeah, hi. I just want to clarify, because this was one issue I didn't think might have to go down without the microphone.
We need the mic for the YouTube. We need the mic for the YouTube. Never need it.
Sorry, my bad. Okay, I just want to clarify that this is another issue last time. There are 2 members at large that got voted in. That is correct. There is not one. There are 2 members at large that got voted in into our new election.
So it should be very clear right now that people are voting for 2 people for members at large.
Correct. And that was actually an item we voted on last year to make that clarification in the bylaws as well. So next month, when you see member at large, you vote for up to 2 people. Up to 2 people. Okay? All right. Madam Chair, I think we're good. Thank you so much again to you and to the nominations committee for all of you.
Thank you to my fellow nominations committee chair people. Thank you.
You did a great job.
Absolutely. Okay, this time we're going to go to item 5, the district manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. We're still here. My name is Dante Arnwine. I'm the district manager of Brooklyn Community Board 9. I want to take a quick opportunity to introduce myself and my staff. First, we have Mia Hilton, the assistant district manager. And we've got Khalid Jamaat, our community associate. We work to support you all as board members. You probably have received emails from me. You will continue to receive emails from me and other members of the staff. Please don't be a stranger. Reach out to us. Don't wait until the board meeting or your committee meetings to report any help that you need. We're here to be supportive. So I'm going to go through my report rather quickly. The New York City Rent Guidelines Board has scheduled a couple of public hearings for consideration of the guidelines for rent adjustments for apartment, loft, and hotel dwelling units, subject to the rent stabilization law. Let me just get down here. Apartment leases and loft increases period during the period of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th of 2026, and the rent stabilized hotel units will be affected. The public hearing closest to our district will be held on June 9th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at City Tech, 275 J Street. Written comments on the proposed rent guidelines must be received by Tuesday, the 17th, to be considered before the final vote. If you plan to submit written comment, please email ask@rgb.nyc.gov. You heard it a little bit earlier, but I want to reiterate the lien sale has been moved to June 3rd, meaning corrective action must be taken no later than June 2nd. So just make sure that if you're sharing the information about the lien sale, highlight that so folks know. A couple administrative items. For our June General Board meeting, it will not be the Tuesday, the 4th Tuesday. It has been moved up to the Monday due to the primary elections. So on Monday, June 23rd, that will be our final General Board meeting of the session. In the month of May, unfortunately, we had 2 fires in the district, one at 1202 Nostrand Avenue, the other at 1 Tampa Court. Fortunately, there were no civilian injuries or casualties at the fires, but I'd just like for folks to be aware that this is happening. If you know folks who might need information, just let us know. If you know the folks who are affected, definitely reach out to the board office and we'll get them connected to HPD and the Red Cross. We did receive a notice today in the board office of a demolition notice for 104 Montgomery Street, which is right next to the shuttle station. So you should expect something will happen there. Don't know what's going to happen yet, but we received the demolition notice, so I want to make that note. Also, actually right out here on Empire Boulevard, the NYPD, the 71st, did a recent roto operation. If you're familiar with Buggy across the street, they parked many a vehicle down Empire Boulevard, and so residents and teachers at the school didn't have any parking. I just want to report that in the roto operation, the NYPD removed 28 vehicles, 21 with roto and 7 because they were derelict. 18 summonses were issued, 32 vehicles were tagged, 11 for roto and 21 for roto and then 11 for derelict. So that has been an ongoing issue for quite some time. If you see derelict cars out on the streets, please take a photo, send it to the board office. Most of them don't have plates. We're aware of that. But even if a vehicle has plates and is derelict, please take a photo and send it to the board office. We get this quite often. And it appears to me we have a commanding officer at the precinct who wants to take care of this in a rather expeditious manner. So we need to take advantage of that as well. We did add our WhatsApp logo to the CB9 webpage. So if you go on there, feel free to sign up for the WhatsApp, share it with folks. But it's very accessible. Now it's on our homepage. We had a bit of a hiccup with OTI, so we're going to be changing our main email from BK09-1. So please remove BK09-1 from your memory, from everything. We're not using it anymore. You will not be able to reach out to Community Board 9 using that email. Let me say it again. You cannot reach out to Community Board 9 using that email. So if you send it there, we never got it. The new email that we're going to be using, which is also on our awning at the board office, is info.bk09@cb.nyc.gov. Again, info.bk09@cb.nyc.gov. Lastly, we have our upcoming community fair on June 7th, Saturday, June 7th at Dr. Ronald McNair Park, starting at 10 a.m. We were very fortunate enough to have 85 registrants sign up. Actually, it's a little bit more now. People are still calling. Out of the 85 that had signed up, 62 said that June 7th was the best date, so that's why we selected that. So we have flyers over on the table. We will continue to blast that out in the e-blast, but we look forward to having the community there and, of course, the board members who are here now helping us and volunteering their services as needed. So more information will come up about that, but with that, I think that I'm finished.
Thank you very much for that report. At this time, are there any questions for the district manager? Second speaker, please.
Let me, there's something else I got. Oh. So there was one thing that I wanted to bring up. So the housing committee has been working diligently to try to get postcards sent out to folks on the land sale. I just want to I'm sorry that it's this late, but I've got to explain it to you or you won't ever understand. I want you all to understand what we have to deal with in the board office. So when you say that you guys want something and you vote on it, especially if it has any financial component to it, here in the board office, we can't just do it. There are other actors at play. The Office of Management and Budget, they are a major player in our budget. So with the postcards, they go, essentially OMB went on a hiatus from processing budget modifications. And so between April and May, they don't process any budget modifications for community boards at all. So immediately May 5th, May 8th, May 13th, I sent budget mods over to OMB to get them to do that. Until they do that, we can't do anything in the board office, so our hands are tied. So I want you to understand that sometimes it may seem that we're running slow, but it's not due to us. It's literally just the bureaucracy that we have to navigate. So with the postcards, I was able to submit a budget modification today. I'll be working diligently tomorrow. Please don't call me the board office to get this set up and sent out as fast as possible. So hopefully we can get it to the people on the land sale prior to June 2nd. So I wanted to give that up.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I see two more. So, and please give me your names one more time. I'm going to be learning as we go along.
The demolition notice, the one on Montgomery, does that mean that you need demolition?
Yes. Yeah. So they would approve the demolition, and then the contractor sends us that notice, and then we blast it out. But literally, it's like a very simple letter that says, here's a 10-day notice, a demolition notice for this address, and that's it.
Within the next 10 days.
Oh, also, we received that today. That letter was postmarked or dated for May 1st. So if you live on Montgomery Street, let me know if the building is still there.
It's still there.
Okay, good.
Nothing's happened.
All right, cool. Thank you. I can only speak to the ones that we get in the board office. I don't know if I'm sure there's probably some requirement that they're supposed to send it, but sometimes they do not. But the ones that we get, we do absolutely try to blast out to make sure folks know that that's happening. But, you know, I can't speak for the other ones. What we get is what we get, and then we go from there to inform the community that this is taking place.
Well, hold on. We have a question and answer.
So, quick question, for the demolition by the shuttles, what street is that? Which shuttle stop is that?
It's between the garden and Eastern Parkway, so it's like in between. There's not a station stop there, but it's like along the route, but it's like literally adjacent. Right.
104 Montgomery Street?
Yes.
Isn't that,
Little small building thing.
is that, oh, it's not the Uber building? Is it Uber building?
A little small building next to the subway track, right?
Yeah, that little small building next to the subway
Small
track.
building.
I don't know anything about Uber.
Oh, no, it's a little bit up, okay.
Okay, all right. Answer your questions? All right, thank you very much.
Yeah. We received it today, even though it was dated for the 1st. I hear the building is still there, so I'm working with the clock. I know. All right.
All right. Thank you very much to the district manager. And again, and I do want to, I'm glad this is a good introduction to the district manager, to the office team. They really make it work. That part, they're there day to day. They get the information, they blast it out. Plus, they take resident complaints as well, and they follow up with community agencies to make sure we're getting results. So again, I thank the district manager. I thank the assistant district manager. I thank our community associates for all the work they do. And I'm sure that as a board member, you will really learn how valuable they are to this team. So thank you very much again. Okay, I'm going to try and go through my chairman's report. There's a lot here. I think a number of it has been covered by the district manager. I'm going to try and go through as very quickly as possible. I understand there's a lot going on, and we're getting towards the end of the year, so there'll be some information, but I will take questions at the end, and I'll try and answer it as well. All right, so first of all, with respect to the new membership, again, brand new board. So the appointments have been made by Borough Hall. We have 18 brand new members on the board. So there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for all of us. I welcome you. The one thing I want to say is, I definitely understand you're busy. We're all busy. But we ask that you please, everyone, actually, not even just new members, but everyone respect the commitment to the board. We really try hard to not be as too onerous in terms of how we schedule things or putting too many things on your plate. But the community board only works when members show up. So it's going to be incumbent upon you to please make sure that you're watching the calendar. If we can avoid conflicts as much as possible, please do so. But also make sure you're communicating. So if there's a problem, we understand. Life happens. Life happens, and we understand everyone is busy. You're probably doing 3 or 4 things aside from the Community Board 9. But we just ask that you're communicating and letting us know what's going on. And to the best that we can, we're going to try to accommodate, and we're trying to make things easier as well. But just make sure that this is a commitment, and when you don't show, it does really affect your board. It does affect the committee. It affects the conversations that we have as a board. But thanks again for coming. Along those lines as well, one of the things that we know is that you come without a lot of information about how a board runs. So one of the things we are going to be looking at is creating training, board level training that will discuss things that are happening here, district level. Borough Hall usually is very good about conducting trainings that will help you in terms of some larger aspects of community board service, especially around land use. They do some primaries with respect to Robert's Rules of Order, and a number of other topics as well. So we're going to do our best to not duplicate those, but we want to make sure that we're supplementing wherever we can, so that way you have a better understanding around how business is conducted and how we do business specifically here in Community Board now. So we're developing that. As soon as we have an opportunity, we'll try and get that out. But if you have suggestions, and particularly for older board members, you grizzled veterans out there, if you have suggestions about ways we can improve in terms of things you would like to hear about, that would help improve your service, and be able to pass that advice on to new board members, please make sure you let us know about that as well. The district manager already talked about the lien sale, very critical, so this date has gone. One of the things that I do intend to do as chair, I do intend to write a letter. I've been asked to write a letter. I'm going to do that as well, with respect to asking that they not, that they actually cancel the lien sale, especially given the environmental, the environment we have. There's so much uncertainty in terms of the way the economy is going. I think it's really difficult to even ask people to set up payment plans when we're not even sure what's going to happen with the economy in the next month or so. So I think that this is a critical time that we should be understanding as New Yorkers, and we're going to request that the mayor cancel the lien sale for this year, at least until we can get some more certainty, and then perhaps even look at other mechanisms in terms of the way the city collects whatever funds they have to do that. The district manager?
Plus the extension, the dynamics of the politics behind that, was there a public announcement?
Well, the dynamics of the politics behind it. It's probably the politics, but that's the pressure we need to do, and that's the advocacy we need to do as a board, in terms of understanding that we have to make the ask. So it's not a matter of we just say, on the one hand, yes, we need to make sure we're communicating and letting people know this is a real thing. And to the point that the housing chair made, this is something that can affect your home ownership, not immediately, but long term. It may affect, may lead into foreclosure proceedings. But at the same time, we can walk and chew gum at the same time and still advocate for, we need to stop this. So that is something we're going to be doing as a, from the chair's pen. Hold on, let me do this. Let me finish the report. If I could ask hold questions, because the faster I can get through this, the faster we'll be able to get, I can answer the questions, and we can get into the voting items. All right, if I could ask you to hold the questions for a second. All right, next, downstate. Downstate Hospital, that's been a long-term conversation that we've had. So, the original decision was postponed until June 1st. My understanding is, I believe that the Community Advisory Board that was established by the governor should be coming out with a recommendation in the next couple of days if they have not submitted it already. We are waiting to see what comes from that, and I just wanted to let the board know that we have advocated vigorously in terms of, one, closing downstate is not an option. But the other piece of that is underfunding downstate also amounts to a foreclosure as well, because if you don't give it the tools and the resources it needs to be competitive, it's the same thing. We are going to be having the same conversation very shortly. So we are going to be looking for that recommendation to come from the Community Advisory Board. As that comes, we're going to be talking on the board level in terms of what ways we need to advocate for downstate. The committee is supposed to make their recommendations by June 1st, but this took us 30, 40 years to get into this hole. I don't believe a community advisory board that met for 3 months is going to solve anything either. So we need to be prepared to have those conversations and advocate. I think we have the plug, so our community fair is coming. This is a great tradition now that we've started in the board. I think it's a great opportunity for us to, one, get together. I think for many of us, this will be the first time we get to work together as board members. And we also get an opportunity to see who's operating in the district. So we have a number of vendors who are providing services. It's a great opportunity to do that, as well as liaise with a lot of city agencies in terms of being able to network with them as well. One of the things that I ask for board members to do is not to just come to these meetings, but to also serve as ambassadors. So when we get the good word, when we understand where these resources are, please don't keep it to yourself. Plug these back out into the networks. One of the things you will see as you come to community board meetings is that people don't know what's happening, or they're mad that something's happening and we're not acting. The one thing I say is I ask for understanding, because we don't always know what we don't know. So part of that is, and unfortunately, we've met our staff. There's only 3 of them. They cannot be in every corner of the district 24 hours a day, so they don't know everything. It's important for us to make sure that we're putting information out there, that we're going to our places of worship, that if you're in block associations, if you're involved in any civic organizations, please make sure you're sharing the information and turn things back as well. So if you're hearing complaints on the street, please refer them back to us so that we can have the conversation. 7399, that, so there was I believe a hearing was held with that. I think one of the committees actually met. So the recommendation from the board was for us to disapprove with certain conditions. It was approved by the Borough President's Office. It was approved, I believe, by DCP as well, correct? And- Okay. No, thank you very much for that. Ms.
I sent the,
No, very well. Okay. No, and that's fine, So thank you for that clarification. But the idea, but just to make sure that it's clear that this is an active item that is being discussed, it's in the city council level, so it's going through a number of committees as well. We are absolutely still following this, and we've had a conversation with the council member as well, Crystal Hudson, in terms of trying to make sure that they're advocating for, the big things we're talking about is affordability. In terms of, they're saying they're trying to build affordable housing, but we haven't seen the kind of affordability that we've been requesting that reflects the people who live in the district. So that is something that we are always going to continue advocating for in terms of that. So, all right, last couple of items. One, there is a new commanding officer for the 71st Precinct. The district manager and I had an opportunity to speak with him. We're hoping to get him here so we can introduce himself to the community board as well. One of the things we've also asked for the CO and for FDNY as well is to make sure that they're present at the Public Safety Committee meeting, so that way we can get real-time information or as close to real-time information about what the issues are, what things are going on in the district with respect to fire and public safety in general. And I say that to say the committees are really where a lot of the in-depth conversations happen. I strongly urge for all members, especially for the new members, to pop into one of the committee meetings so it'll give you a sense of what kind of conversations are happening. And absolutely, we look for your feedback in terms of what conversations you're not hearing that you think we should be having as well. All right, so with that, I'm going to conclude. Yeah, I'm going to conclude on that, but I will take questions. We will open a speakers list. Any questions with regards to my report? Suki, I see you. Hold on one second. Any other questions regarding my chair's report? Ms. Westwood, I see you as well. Any other questions? All right, Suki, go ahead. I'm sorry, repeat that? I mean, the only thing is, we can do that. Let's when we get to the voting session, we'll take that as new business. The only thing I wanted to avoid was if there are a lot of qualifications or things they wanted to say. If it's a simple resolution, cancel the lien sale, I think you can take that as a vote. If not, I will do it under my own pen and I can come back for a ratification. So the board can ratify that afterwards if there's a lot of questions in there. It is, and this is the reason why, I mean, the board can do it, but I think as the chair, and absolutely in my letter, I would advise, I'm not doing this as, this is the policy of the board, but as a chairperson of the board, this is what I've heard. And I think once that's been written, the board will have an opportunity to read it and say, yes, we're behind it, or we can also edit it and amend it as necessary as well, but only because time is really sensitive. Okay? All right, Ms. Westerveld.
Yeah, I just wanted to say in regards to 7399 Empire Boulevard, the hearing for City Council is happening on the 28th. I sent something to the board office. It would be great if you all could send that out to everybody. And it's a good opportunity if you're interested in your look or the process at all to, it's going to be on Zoom, sign up for it, listen to it, or go there. If it happens, it's been changed. Several times it had some problems, but it's a good opportunity to learn about the process and see what they're doing and just watch it, because this is a rezoning that is going to have a huge impact on Empire, our community zoning changes, the school. It's a pretty big deal, so please have a look. And you'll send that, Dante, to everybody like you did last week? All right. I sent you you got the, I sent you a copy of the agenda from the council?
I mean, I already found it.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for that, and the district office will make sure to send that information out again as well. Okay, oh, and the last piece I have. If you are a new member, please make sure if you haven't done so already, sign up for the e-blast, because that's where a lot of these notifications and notices will go. So on a weekly basis, you will get it from the district office. Additionally, as you're signing up, please make sure you confirm with the district office your correct contact information. All right? So, make sure you can just email the board office. They gave you email. It's infobk09@cb.nyc.gov. Just confirm that where you want your information to go. I will warn you in advance. There are a lot of emails you are going to get. You may want to create a separate account just for community board night. A folder, at the very least a folder, but I mean, again, to the point where you're going to get a ton of stuff. So, we're going to move on. But just make sure that you are looking for communications from CB9. So whatever means, whatever works for you, I'm not going to tell you this is the way you have to do it, whatever works for you, but just be aware you're going to get a ton of communication. All right? And if you find that you are not getting communication, especially reach out to the board. Because that means you're probably missing something or something's not connecting to it. All right, thank you very much for that. All right, we are now going to go into item 7, the voting session. All right, the first items we have are the SLA applications. So, we heard from one applicant today, that's for Edie Joes, for 626-630 Flatbush Avenue, between Fenimore and Hawthorne Streets. This is for the renewal of a liquor, wine, beer, and cider license. And this was also a modification, correct? You changed to the method of operation. Two separate applications. So those are the two items that are going to be voted on. Okay, so with respect to this, it came before the Public Safety Committee. The Public Safety Committee did not have a quorum this month. So the Public Safety Committee was not able to issue a recommendation. One of the things that we do, that we've done is, I don't like to penalize applicants if we haven't done what we need to do as a board, if we weren't there. So it was brought to the Executive Committee. We approved it to come before the board this evening. The applicants have presented. At this time, we will take questions on the application. Okay? All right. You have a question? Well, we can. Well, let's do this. This is the only SLA application right now, so. Right. But we can get to the other two. We can talk about it. No, they are required to be present. The other two are required to be present. I'll touch them shortly. We'll probably move the table under to find out what happened with them, and we'll dispose of it one way or another. This is what happens. But hold on, 1 second. I see Member Chung. Any other questions with respect to the application for Edie Jones? Suki, I see you. Any other questions?
Just as FYI, we have to be out of here at 9:30, so try to be very diligent so we don't hold up the staff for the school. Thank you.
Right, so we're going to keep it very short. Okay, go ahead, Suki. Dante, could you bring the microphone over for Suki?
Test.
In the application, it says method of operation change and box for recorded music is ticked. So this is a method of operation change from what to recorded music?
Right, if you click on it, very good.
It's a little unclear on the application. Right now, we're permitted to have recorded music. What we're looking for permission to do is to also have non-recorded music, karaoke, small jazz trio, or DJ. Any of that is technically not permitted, although a lot of places in the neighborhood do those things. We just want to be above board with the SLA and have it all. It is. That is checked off on there, yeah. No, it's
So that initial application was actually for a renewal. We issued as an attachment to that application our intent to file for a method of operation change as well. All of that is in the packet information.
I don't see it
Okay. Okay, Suki, we can easily deal with that. That's a stipulation of the board in terms of,
Also,
It- it
there's
should
no
be.
hours of operation listed on this application or questionnaire. We normally have hours of operation
the hour,
as part of our questionnaire.
the applicant spoke earlier.
Questionnaire.
Right.
Okay, but there's also our questionnaire on the other side of it, and for both of the other applications, hours of operation are part of the questionnaire, and they're listed. So I'm wondering why it's not on this particular application.
The only one is only one page, so it's not all the pages. It's one page.
They're under proposed method of operation. It shows our current operating hours, but we do not have a proposed new method of operation hours because our hours are staying the same.
Okay, so where is my hours of operation?
Yeah, if you could just repeat for the record what the hours are.
Sure. So we have a 4 a.m. license, but our proposed hours of operation are really our current hours of operation. We are proposing no change to that. Are having our kitchen open from 12 p.m. Tuesday through Thursday until midnight. On Friday and Saturday, our kitchen is open on Friday 12 p.m. until 12 a.m. again. On Saturday 10 a.m. until 12 a.m. On Sunday that's 10 a.m. until 12 a.m. Our outdoor hours, which are listed on there as well, our patio closes at 10 p.m. nightly. And that's out of courtesy to our neighbors around us. But our total kitchen hours, as it's recorded there, kitchen and restaurant hours.
Oh, okay, Suki.
No, so we are open slightly beyond our kitchen hours of operation. We close currently Tuesday through Thursday and Sunday at 1 a.m. and on Friday and Saturday at 2 a.m. We open on Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. All other days, Tuesday through Friday, we open at noon.
And your outdoor area, is that enclosed or unenclosed?
Both.
So you're going to be having an unenclosed outdoor area open until 2 a.m.
No.
No, they said they're
Our entire
outdoors
patio
until
area,
10.
the enclosed and unenclosed areas are all closed by 10 p.m.
Now, my final question is, your application, the questionnaire also says you're willing to a small, so I'm just wondering how this liquor license is a full liquor license.
So the school that's directly above us actually issued a letter of recommendation that's included that was sent to you all as well. So they are actually in full support of our application.
Oh, okay, Suki. Okay, all right. Order.
Approve
Oh,
a
order.
liquor license application within 200 feet of the school.
It's a preschool daycare, not a DOE facility.
Okay.
It is a preschool facility called the Maple Street School, but it is not governed by the DOE in the same ways as other schools as it relates to the SLA application.
Oh, okay. And with that, we can't take, you have a very quick one? Yes, ask the question very quickly though. You gotta move.
know if they change their hours all of a sudden of their business hours, because when we got the original application, it was
No.
4 a.m.
The applicant has addressed that. There are no changes to the hours of operation.
On the off chance that we have a party that maybe goes a little later, we have that option, but our whole business plan is to be in place that they
Right, so I would just sort of state that, the representative that is not having the owner, stated that she is allowed to be open till 4 a.m.
And I stated that here
Okay.
today as well, that we have a 4 a.m.
Yes.
liquor license.
All right. Okay.
Again, we do not want to have parties.
Un-
We've been very clear in our application. We want to continue to
It's
support
been
public
addressed.
arts
It's been
and
addressed.
local organizations.
It's been addressed. Okay, okay, we're done with questions at this time. All right, so at this time, I will entertain a motion from the board to approve the application for the renewal along with the change in method of operation. Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Teresa Westerdahl. We'll call the vote momentarily. Okay? Do we have a second from Ethan Norville? Okay, you know, second to Kendall Christensen. All right, here's what we're going to do. The secretary is going to call the roll. When she calls the roll, answer yes or no. If you're in favor, say yes. If you are not, say no. Okay? Go ahead, Madam Secretary. Understood. We're going to be done.
Adu Mahabir. Yes. Nicola Almanar. Oh. Fred Baptiste. Yes. Solange Benjamin.
Yes.
Kat Bercelli. Absent. Suki Chow. Suki Chow. Kendall Christensen.
Yes.
Absent. Eve Cohen.
No.
Sol Carey. Max Davidson. Brittany Ellington. Lisa Etienne.
Yes.
Madame Gabois. Bishop Hamilton Gonzalez.
Yes.
Shauna Hartley.
No.
Drew Johnson.
Yes.
Bonnie Joseph. Renisha Labari.
No.
Mena Lagote.
Yes.
Kristen LeBoy. Andrew Mangus.
Yes.
Marcia Maxwell. Marcia Maxwell. Vanna Mears. Anna Mears. Vanna Mears. Raham Mina. Latif Bushing. Eden Norville. Denzel Adoro. Isaiah Pickle.
Yes.
Hassan Kishi.
Yes.
Felice Robertson. Vinnie Rosenberger. Melissa Severe. Bakari Kanduri.
Yes.
Andrea, I'm sorry. Joshua Thomas Serrano.
Yes.
Abigail King.
Yes.
Debbie Timothy.
Yes.
Twyla Ware.
Yes.
Linda Watson Lord. Yes. Dawn. Teresa Lester Dawn.
Yes.
Dawn Williams. Dawn Williams. Lorianne Woodsley. Steve Zelter.
Okay, the secretary is going to tally the results for this. All right, so here's what's going to happen. After this, I'm just going to ask all in favor, and I'm going to ask for no's and abstentions. Is it clear? We're going to go through the next couple of items very quickly. All right, as we're doing that, this is a little bit out of order, but we're going to do this. Next, we're going to have the dining out applications as the Secretary of Business Staff. So, there were two dining out applications for two establishments, Ish and for John, the two establishments. They were presented before the Transportation Committee. The committee voted in favor. It was approved by the Executive Committee to come before the board as well. So, at this time, I will entertain a motion to combine these two, to approve these dining out applications. Okay, well, you should have to. Is there any objection to that? Okay, hearing none. Are there any questions at this time? Hearing none. Is there any objection to approving these applications by common consent? Call for a second time. Any objection to approving by common consent? Hearing none. We're going to report that the applications are approved by common consent of the board. We're going to move on to the next item, street cornering application. So street cornering application, again, the representative for the committee that wanted to present for that was not able to make it. The chair actually spoke to this with respect to the applicant is person of substance who is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which is the oldest sorority founded by African American women in the United States. Notable members include Kamala Harris, Maya Angelou, and a number of other people as well. This lady is also responsible for writing the hymn for that organization and was a longtime member and very active in civic affairs here. So at this point, at this time, and I believe the application also had support from the council member office as well. Correct. All right. So at this time, it was approved by the Transportation Committee, approved by the executive committee for the board. All right. So it's on the floor. Are there any questions with respect to this application? Understood. Is there any objection to approving this application by common consent of the board? Call for a second time. Is there any objection to approving by common consent? Hearing none. We're going to note that this is adopted by common consent. Thank you very much. Madam Secretary, if you can, very quickly, what is the result of the first vote for the SNA application?
Yes, you have 26 yes, 5 no.
And there were 2 abstentions.
Yes, 38 on record, so that's not adding up.
Hold on.
One moment, please. Well, here's the thing. With 27, that is a majority vote. So the motion carries. Madam Secretary, please correct the record so that we have the appropriate vote. So the motion does carry. Are we clear? Okay, thank you very much. All right. And we'll confirm and we'll reconcile the vote. We'll confirm the vote. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go to new business very quickly.
Hi, I'm Benny Rosenberger. Based on the testimony from Cheryl Moskowitz and Jay Surratt, I'd like to introduce a motion to send a notification to Letitia James that she can then convene a what's it called? What's it called? Yeah, a hearing, a community impact hearing based on the Vital Brooklyn project, because from what I've heard in the meetings, the Europe meetings, and from other members of the community, the environmental impact statement that currently was made does not include. You can't hear me? All right. So the environmental impact report that's currently out there does not include the voice of the community. So we want to have a hearing so that the voice of the community can be heard as well as recorded. So that's how I want to put that motion on the floor.
Second motion to have hearing.
There's a motion on the floor by Member Large Rosenberger to request the Attorney General to
convene a community impact
hearing. Seconded by Teresa Westendorf. Secretary, you have that? You have the motion. There's a motion on the floor. The motion on the floor is for Community Board 9 to request the Attorney General of New York State to convene a community impact hearing?
Community impact hearing. Yes.
Community impact hearing. Moved by Benjamin Rosenberger, seconded by Teresa Westendorf. Yeah. Yes, the motion that is on the floor is for Community Board 9 to request the Attorney General, Letitia James, to conduct,
Community impact hearing.
community impact hearing regarding Vital Brooklyn project. Okay. Now, with that, it's been moved and seconded. Now, let me say this right now. One, we're not gonna be able to get a vote in on this one because we are time limited. Two, there may be an issue and a question because I believe we've requested this kind of assistance from the Attorney General before, and she said she may be conflicted, but she can't do that. So, let's do this. I'm sorry? Understood, but she may be conflicted, so it might be a waste of time. Let's do this. Let's table the motion. We can check and see if we can make a request to the Attorney General's office to be able to do that. Do I have a motion to table? Hold on. All right.
Collect no's and abstentions, huh?
All right. We have a motion to table by Ethan Norville. Do we have a second? Seconded by Sonia Hartman. All right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please state your name for the record. All right. Please note. Ms. Westwood. Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. She gets to state her name for the record. Please note Ms. Westwood is a no. Anyone else who wishes to say no for the record?
I don't know.
Benjamin is a no as well. Anyone who wishes to abstain on the vote, please state your name for the record. Please note those two no votes. It's tabled until the next month. The district manager and I will see if we can communicate with the Attorney General's office to find out, because I'm pretty sure she had said she's conflicted because she's in this process later on. So we'll find out what she's able to do or not. All right, so with that, we have completed our agenda. I want to thank and welcome again all the new board members. I'm sorry? That was the new business. And we need to get ready to leave because we are going to get kicked out of here in a minute. So I thank everyone for coming out this evening. Please remember, next month is not regular order. We are here on the 23rd, not the Tuesday. Okay? And with that, we stand adjourned. Madam Secretary, please note the time, 9:29 p.m.